Hello, TLC artists. It's Christine again. This evening, I am in my basement. I found a very nice, quiet, and perfect lighting spot that I am able to now videotape in the evening, which is a huge improvement because the light's gone very quickly in the daytime now. And the other reason why this is now going to be so much easier is because I was blessed with a stand to hold my phone. So I am really very happy about being given that, and it's certainly going to help me, even though Naomi was helping me sometimes when she was available to do some videotaping. This is really going to allow me to videotape just whenever I get the feeling to do some kind of crafting. And so what I plan to do is anytime I feel like doing something, which is often lately, I am just going to put on this video and just talk through it and show you what it is I'm creating. So this one is about the second one in the all things Christmas kind of theme. Already done one with various wreaths, and so now what I would like to do is show you how I make my Christmas garlands. So at Christmas, I have garlands hanging everywhere. They're on my staircase, they're over my fireplace, they're over my arches, and it really does make my house look really festive. And so, you know, this year is going to definitely be a different year. And, you know, I still want to hang on to some of those traditions that we usually have. And so I am going to decorate the way that I usually do. So I'm hoping that I will inspire you guys to do the same thing. If you're not used to having a wreath, now maybe you'll be inspired to make your own wreath. Why do I keep saying wreath? It's not the wreath, it's the garland. You will be inspired to make your own garland, and if not for yourself, you can give it away as a gift. I've done that as well. And as I say, this could be the second in the series of All Things Christmas, but even as we make these things, never want to forget the reason for the season that we are celebrating the birth of our Lord Jesus. Without that act, we would not even have Christmas to celebrate. So don't ever want to forget that Jesus is the reason for the season. And, you know, I'm just grateful and thankful for all of the things that come with, you know, Christmas time. You know, the getting together, the services, and all of those kind of things. We may have to modify this year, but we still give thanks, and we still give him praise for the fact that we can create all these things with the God-given talents that he has given to us. So, with that being said, let's make a garland. So, the first thing we need to talk about are our supplies once again. So I have various things on my table, but since this is the biggest thing right under my nose, here are all of the things that I plan to put on my wreath. Mostly baubles, and I'm going to do it with this theme. So I have various kind of baubles and things in here. Some are bells. I've even got these very pretty butterflies. I don't know if I'm going to use all of them, but what I suggest you do is collect a bunch of things that are in the color scheme that you want, any kind of color scheme seems to go these days, but usually I coordinate it with my wreath if it's going to be in the in the same room. If it's an outside one, then it doesn't really matter. But for our garland, we are going to need a few other things. So I have picked up this very cheap garland from the dollar store. You can also get them from Walmart, but they tend to be a bit more than that. And my plan with this, which looks very artificial, as you can see, this is the before, okay? My plan is to make it look so much more realistic because I also picked up this piece from Dollarama. Now, my suggestion is get to Dollarama fairly quickly because once that Halloween thing has passed, everybody will now start thinking Christmas and everything gets picked over very quickly. So suggestions are, if you're planning to make one of these garlands, try and get to a Dollarama fairly quickly and get your supplies. Okay, so artificial wreath. This is artificial but does look so much more realistic because of the fact it's got some pine cones on it, and that's why I like it. Then I've also picked up this. This is also a bit of a garland, but really I just want the flowers from it because I've already got berries on this one, but I really want the flowers, and I was trying to be very frugal in getting this. Yes. We also need our ribbon. Now I'm choosing to use this mesh ribbon, but you can use any kind of ribbon. I think I'll get another ribbon to show you, bendy ribbon, satin ribbon, anything, but I kind of want this mesh ribbon. And this wreath, I am going to actually put lights in it. Now, because of the length of the did I say wreath again? This garland, I am going to put lights in it because I would like it to also be hung where it's probably over a fireplace where I can plug it in. So if you plan to use lights, you can use the battery ones or you can use these LED plug-in ones, but make sure you get at least a 20 or 30 light box so that you will have enough to go all the way along your garland. So I hope you're enjoying my background Christian Christmas music. I love classical music. I think that came from my days of schooling in England, but anyway, I hope you enjoy it and I hope it's not too loud. So the first thing that I'm going to do once I've opened up my garland is this base garland. As you can see, it looks very artificial now, but we're going to transform it. So when you open it up, you need to first of all try to even the branches on either side. So you just open them up and spread them evenly. The reason why I like to work with this is because we can bend the branches very easily, and a lot of the tying or anchoring of the pieces that we're going to put on, you don't even need to glue it at this point. You can just use the branches to bend around the pieces that you have. So I'm going to just continue with this so that this is not too long. Just know that the first step is to unravel this piece and to even out your branches on either side. So next step, after I've opened up the first layer, is I've decided I'm going to put the lights on, because I want to wrap those around these pieces and use the wire part of the branches to hold it in place. So the first thing I've realized is that even though this is 30 lights, it's not long enough for a 8-foot garland. But because I want to be able to show you how to do this with the lights, I am just going to use the middle piece. So my lights are like this, and this one that I've picked is white light, not the soft yellow light. So I'm just going to use the middle part of the wreath of the garland. I don't know why I just seem to want to say wreaths all the time. I've got wreaths stuck in my head. Anyway, as we continue making the garland, I am going to make the light, and also this one I know is not going to go the whole way. So what I'm going to do is make the middle part the main part, and then at the ends I'm going to fill it with ribbon and the baubles, the other things. So if you have lighting that is not big enough, then find the spot where you're going to put it, and basically you're just going to wrap it in between. So I'm wrapping it in between these branches, so forward and back. I tend to do like this. So just around these branches, so at the front and at the back, and at the front and at the back. So we're just weaving it all the way along. You don't even have to hold it, but you can just wrap it around the branches as you move it. The front and the back, and just keep moving it along. Eventually you will have all of your lights wrapped around the base garland. So as I said, I'm stretching it as much as I can, but really I think you need maybe a 50 light at least for the 8-foot garland. So I put it evenly on either side, so I have about this much that doesn't have lighting, but that's okay. So once now I have that piece together, the next thing is to lay on my more realistic piece. So again, this is not the full length, so I'm going to use this laid on the majority of the main piece, which, you know, this might be the piece that's going to be over your fireplace maybe. So I'm going to lay it on, and again, I'll show you with this piece, use this part of the branch, the base branch, and just wrap it over to keep the second one in place. So forward or back, and it just holds your second one in place. So here we have our garland with our ribbon all placed, our second garland laying on top of the base garland, and our lights are all on, and it's already starting to look really pretty and not so artificial, as you can see. And we've gone all the way to the end with the ribbon, although I haven't got the full length. Lights are somewhere here, but we're going to fill out this part with all of the baubles that we have left. So I'm just going to get my baubles together and my glue gun together, and then we're going to start to put in the baubles in these places here where there needs to be a little bit more. And once we've glued that on, then you know we're almost finished. So I did forget one step. I forgot that I have yet to place my poinsettia flowers, which I want to go on there. So I just pulled them off the piece, which I don't know what I've done with now, but either way I've pulled off and I've got like 5 of these. So I am going to evenly place these along my wreath. I'm going to start with the middle, the spot in the middle here that needs a little something. I'm going to lay it down and then put 2 on the other side, like one at the very ends, to the very end, maybe not the very end, but the almost end here, and the same on the other side, and one more somewhere in the middle, maybe here, and evenly placed here. So once I have positioned where I think I want them, then afterwards, now I can glue them with my glue gun once I'm sure I have them in the right spot. Next, you can see that I have spread out my wreath all the way along, and what I'm doing is I've placed my flowers, then I am kind of laying the baubles in between the flowers. So I have a flower, then baubles, and I've put 3 together here, a flower, then some more baubles, then a flower, and I've just laid them along the table where I think I'm going to place them. If you lay them out first and even position them on the wreath where you think the garland, where you think you're going to need it or want it, then you have an idea what it looks like before you actually start to glue. So again, lay it out, have a look at it, make sure it's the way you want it, and then we're going to use our glue gun and glue them all on. And we're almost done. So now we have finished our garland. I have laid down all of my baubles. I've glued on my flowers. Now the baubles, sometimes you have to glue them together as well so that they stay on, but it's just a little squirt of glue and put on it. And so here is, I'm going to take this, is my reveal. Here's my finished garland, everyone. Maybe I'll turn it this way from end to end. So we have ribbon, we have poinsettias, we have baubles, some in 3s, some in 2s, and I really love the mirror ones. These were 3 for $1.25. So again, if you can get there and try and get some really good things that coordinate together. My butterflies, I just put 3 of these along, but here is my finished garland, and I think this is going to go in my kitchen area, since I have a different color theme in the other area, but here's the finished garland. Now I am going to try to plug it in, turn off the lights, and show you what it looks like with the lights plugged in. So here's our look with the lights on. This is white light, looking very pretty. So I personally do like to be able to add lights if I have them. And again, that depends on where you're going to place them. If it's going to be over a fireplace, where you can actually access the plug-in area, then I tend to put lights on. On the staircase, I don't tend to. So that's a personal preference. It really does depend on where you're going to put it. And you can add the lights after if you choose to. If you make it without, it just is a little easier to put them on if you have them first. But I have done that where I have strung the lights on in between after. But there is the finished product. This is our Christmas garland to go with our Christmas theme, and really hope that you enjoyed it. It was very therapeutic for me. That's what I do for de-stressing, and so here's our Christmas garland, and I hope you will be able to make one for yourself. Happy crafting, TLC artists.